I-35 Speedway for opening night. Go 52M, Dustin Miller!
Take that and run.
With temperatures in the low 80s, lots of fans showed up Saturday night at I-35 Speedway for opening night. We're just about ready to start the B-Mod A-Main.
Green flag racing this time. J.J. Bomley, Jared Timmerman, your front row. Out of turn 4, foot to the floor, engines a roar. We're racing here in the IMCA Sport Mod A feature. Jared Timmerman on that outside line, going to take the early lead away from Bomley. Bomley battling back. IMCA Sport Mod racing here at I-35 Speedway. Jared Timmerman in that 7 Plus car, your leader here early in the race, followed by the 46 of J.J. Bomley. Lynn Starry up to 3rd and a 54. Bobby Penny from deep in the field. On the outside up to 4th around, Jason Billups. Billups in that 33J car running 5th. Clay Hale looking to get around. Here comes Swarthout trying to get around. Anthony Asher in the 37 car. Cam Atkinson gets sideways down the front straightaway. Corrects himself. Good driving on Cam Atkinson's part.
76.
Looks like we lost the 76, the 46 of J.J. Bomley, the 76 of Ronnie Miller heads to the pit area. Bobby Penny in that 16 car trying to catch up to your leader, Jared Timmerman in that 7 Plus car. Bobby Penny running 2nd now. Lynn Starry running 3rd. Clay Hale running 4th. Steve Swarthout up to 5th. Anthony Asher looks to the inside, clips a tire. Trying to get around Jason Billups, finally makes the pass. Cam Atkinson looking to get around Billups. Here comes John Fugit up through the pack. Dylan Book trying to make his way around Jeff Stotts. Back in the pack, trying to get around the 8 of Paige Lapine now. Clay Hill up to 4th, trying to get around Lynn Starry for 3rd. Jared Timmerman in that 7 Plus car starting to check out. Your leader here last week in that Ironman Series B-Mod class. Bobby Penny also raced in that. He's running 2nd. Clay Hale still trying to get around Lynn Starry. Lynn Starry with a good run running 3rd. Cam Atkinson a little bit sideways down the back straightaway. Halfway done here in our first A feature of 2011 at I-35 Speedway. Your leader, Jared Timmerman, in that 7 Plus car starting to pull away from Bobby Penny. Penny in the 16 trying to reel him in, not having any luck. Clay Hale trying to hold off. Steve Swarthout in that 23G out of Beatrice. Swarthout to the inside, takes that 4th spot away from Hale. Hale back to 5th. He's going to battle back on the inside trying to get by Swarthout. Nice, fast racing surface they have here at I-35 Speedway. And they're showing it. These cars are on a mission. Leroy Cameron in the 6A car about to go a lap down. Jared Timmerman in the 7 Plus car puts him a lap down. Puts a lap car in between him and Bobby Penny. Look at Lynn Starry in that 54 car. 15B West besting onto the infield. Swarthout in that 23G almost made contact with the wall out of 4. Ronnie Jacobs right in front of your leader. Your leader trying to put him a lap down. That's Jared Timmerman in the 7 Plus car. Then he'll set his sights on Dustin Miller. Bobby Penny getting a challenge from Lynn Starry. Starry with a great run thus far, running 3rd, challenging for 2nd. Bobby Penny trying to reel in your leader, Jared Timmerman. Timmerman starts to check out even more. Mike Tanner up on the high side might have a problem in the 20T. Looks like Mike Tanner in the 20T going to head to the pit area. Jared Timmerman, nothing but racetrack in between him and the next lap car, about a straightaway away. That's Paige Lapine. Lynn Starry now up to 2nd in the 54. A good run by the veteran out of Excelsior. White flag out this time for the 7 Plus of Jared Timmerman. Timmerman in that 7 Plus car. Down a turn 4, yellow flag coming out. These guys done a great job. The first caution of the Sport Mod race, they almost went green to checkered. That caution looks like it's the 23G of Steve Swarthout out of Beatrice. So the lights out, we'll go back green flag racing. These guys come a lap away from going green, white, checkered. Green flag comes back out. Jared Timmerman in that 7 Plus car, your leader, followed by the 54 Lynn Starry. Cam Atkinson going to look to the inside of Clay Hale. Oh, problem for the 33J of Jason Billups. See if he can make it to the infield or the pits. Now he's going again. White flag out this time for the 7 Plus of Jared Timmerman. Here comes Lynn Starry looking to the inside. Starry, an old veteran, trying to get his first career feature win. Through turns 3 and 4. Oh, Starry gets a little sideways. Checkered flag out for the 7 Plus of Jared Timmerman. Second spot to the 54 of Lynn Starry. Third to the 16 of Bobby Penny. Fourth to the 22H of Clay Hale. Feature winner, the 7 Plus of Jared Timmerman. Hoover picked up a win last season. Greg Kewen, a former feature winner.
Okay, racers. Yellow lights out. We're going to race.
Lights out. We'll go green flag racing this time.
Up to you. Thank you for choosing I-35.
Out of turn 4. Foot to the floor. The engines come a roar. Green flag out. Shannon Anderson in that 78 off the pole. Going to take the early lead. Here comes Bruce Fair. Look at Matthew Lance on the outside. Takes the lead. David Willey up against the wall. Greg Kewen in that 3K car up into the 6th spot around Mick Ross. We got a battle for the lead side by side. Shannon Anderson, Matthew Lance, Bruce Fair right there behind him in case any of them make a mistake. He's ready to capitalize. 4th spot belongs right now to the 17 of Lee Farmer. Billy Hoover got a top 5 right now. Still side by side for that top spot. Matthew Lance, Shannon Anderson. Bruce Fair right there behind him still. Trying to close in, trying to make his move on the outside. Now he looks to the inside of Shannon Anderson for the lead. Little bit of contact side by side for second as Matthew Lance is your leader. Matthew Lance in the 12X car. Shannon Anderson in the 78. Bruce Fair in the 44. Your top 3, they start to break away from the 4th place car. That's the 17 of Lee Farmer. He's in a battle right now with Billy Hoover for that 4th spot. Anderson to the inside of Lance looking for the lead in turn 1. Greg Kewen's caught up to the top 5. He runs in 6, puts some distance in between him and David Willey. Andy Kaufman in that 77C, his first appearance here at I-35 Speedway. Gets around Mick Ross. Matthew Lance, your leader, coming up on lap traffic. Thomas Odom in that 17T car. Shannon Anderson getting a challenge from Fair. Lee Farmer a little bit sideways out of turn 4. Opens the door for Billy Hoover. Hoover getting a challenge now from Greg Kewen. Kewen to the inside looking for that 5th spot. The top 3 maneuver around lap traffic. That puts a lap car in between the 3rd and 4th place car. Thomas Odom on the high side going to go get lapped by the 4th, 5th, and 6th place drivers. Bruce Fair now on the inside takes the lead, or takes the 2nd spot away from Shannon Anderson. They both chase Matthew Lance, who's trying to capture another win here at I-35 Speedway. Fair a little bit sideways out of turn 4. Anderson back around him for 2nd. All these guys have stepped their games up over the winter. Last year, Shannon Anderson ran away with the first feature win of the season. This year, he's running second and third right now to Matthew Lance. Lance going to try to put Adam Reeder a lap down, then works on Lexus Whitney, puts a lap car in between him and Shannon Anderson. Now he's on the outside of a Lexus Whitney, puts another lap car in between him and Anderson. As the laps wind down here, Matthew Lance, your leader. Oh, he gets sideways out of turn 4, opens the door for Shannon Anderson. I believe the 12X Matthew Lance might have a flat.
12X, you have a right rear flat, though.
A right rear flat ends Matthew Lance's chances. The 55L of Jeremy Turner heads the pits. White flag out for the 78 of Shannon Anderson. Bruce Fair looks to the inside, trying to get around Anderson. Out of turn 4, checkered flag out this time. Looks like it's going to be for the second year in a row, winning opening night, the 78 of Shannon Anderson. Second spot to the 44 of Bruce Fair. Third to the 3K of Greg Kewen. Fourth to the 21H of Billy Hoover, and fifth to the 17 of Lee.
Last year, like I stated, you won opening night, kind of in a dominating fashion. This year, you had to work for it, chasing Matthew Lance before you got a right rear flat.
Yeah, I don't know. My cars always like it a little smoother and slicker. They were kind of this first night in the car, it was kind of throwing me around just a little bit, but it came around there at the end. I kind of got lucky there in lap traffic, got stuck in between them, but I guess I'm glad I took my time, took my patience. I didn't want to bump him or anything for the win, so I gave him plenty of room the whole time.
86 Jake Cameron. 65X Thomas Roberts did make it out there. The 05X Gary St. Clair. Yeah, I just now noticed that. I'm getting old, I tell you. Green flag comes back out. Brad Whitney going to take that early lead into turn number 1. Thomas Roberts from last moves up around a couple cars. Right there alongside Jake Cameron, Brad Whitney. Your leader, followed by Daniel Matthews. Tyler Corkins running third, getting a challenge from Jeff Dixon. 3 wide into turn number 2. Kevin Anderson, Jake Cameron, Thomas Roberts. Jeff Dixon to the inside of Daniel Matthews. A little bit of contact. Matthews got sideways. Dixon nowhere to go. He's going to fall back. Stock car racing action here at I-35 Speedway. Brad Whitney starting to check out. Kevin Anderson up to second around Daniel Matthews. Thomas Roberts up to fourth. Tyler Corkins fifth. Roberts going to look to the inside of Matthews. Dixon to the inside of Corkins, trying to hold off Jake Cameron. John Bowler the third right behind them. Brad Whitney, still your leader, starting to stretch his lead over Kevin Anderson, who's second now. Thomas Roberts to the inside, started last, up to third in the 65X. Daniel Matthews back to fourth. Jeff Dixon fifth. Thomas Roberts in that 65X, he's up to third, trying to catch up to Kevin Anderson, who sits second, who's trying to catch up to Brad Whitney as your leader. Jeff Dixon hanging right there with Roberts, going to look to the inside. Corkins going to get a challenge from Jake Cameron. Brad Whitney in that X9 from Trenton, Missouri, still your leader. He's followed by the 417 of Kevin Anderson. Thomas Roberts in the 65X, three-wheeling around this track, running third. But he's got Jeff Dixon in his rearview mirror. Daniel Matthews getting a challenge from Tyler Corkins for that fifth spot. Problems for the 77T Trent Jeans. He gets turned around to turn 4. That might be the caution that Kevin Anderson and Thomas Roberts need, as Brad Whitney was running away with this feature.
He spun out by himself.
First unassisted caution for the 77T. Dixon right there. Daniel Matthews running 5th.
11 just started. There was 11 cars total. 10 only started, 20 exited.
Light is out. Green flag racing this time out of turn 4. Green flag high in the air. Brad Whitney, your leader. Whitney with a good restart there. Trying to get away from Anderson. Anderson now going to get a challenge from Roberts. Roberts looking for that 2nd spot. Jeff Dixon running 4th. Matthews 5th. Roberts 3-wheeling. He almost turned the car over getting in there. Debris on the racetrack. Debris in turns 3 and 4.
Debris in turn 4, right in the middle of the track. Right in the middle of the track in turn 4.
Gary St. Clair's trunk lid looks like it's flapping there in the wind.
Stay high, guys. Stay
Brad
high.
Whitney going to try to check out again from Kevin Anderson. Anderson going to try to hold off Roberts. Roberts going to try to hold off Dixon. Now Corkins finds himself in 5th spot. Green flag back out. Brad Whitney in that X9 car starting to pull away a little bit from Kevin Anderson. Daniel Matthews gets around Trent Jeans. John Bowler III going to look to the inside of now Jake Cameron's trunk piece about to flap in the wind. Not sure what's going on with these trunk pieces on these cars, but they don't like to stay down. Not sure if that's really aerodynamic. Kevin Anderson going to challenge Brad Whitney for the lead. Whitney running low, Anderson running high. Whitney will pull away a little bit out of the turn 3, or turn 2. Thomas Roberts running 3rd. Starting to lose ground to your top 2. Brad Whitney in that X9 car, your leader. Kevin Anderson running 2nd. 65X Thomas Roberts getting a challenge from Jeff Dixon in the 88. Tyler Corkins running 5th, trying to hold off Jake Cameron, who's got kind of a, I guess you could call it a sail or a parachute back there behind him, trying to hold him back, that trunk lid. 77T, get turned around, he'll back onto the infield, so we'll stay green. Brad Whitney still your leader. Kevin Anderson losing ground into that turn. Thomas Roberts still 3-wheeling, trying to hold off Jeff Dixon. Corkins doing a good job holding off Jake Cameron. Daniel Matthews going to look to the inside of Gary St. Clair for that 8th spot. White flag out for the X9 of Brad Whitney. Out of turns 3 and 4, checkered flag out this time for the X9 of Brad Whitney. 2nd spot going to go to the 417 of Kevin Anderson. 3rd to the 65X of Thomas Roberts. 4th to the 88 of Jeff Dixon. And 5th to the 94C of Tyler Corkins.
Here with the winner tonight at I-35 of the IMCA stock cars, Brad Whitney. Brad, all I can say is, man, you showed a lot of power out there, and like you say, you just drug it out of the weeds sort of last week.
Yeah, it was sitting in the weeds last week, and we talked about it and got my daughter's hobby stock done, and went out and drug it out of the weeds and stuck it in the shop, and called Jesse Sobing at Medieval Chassis and had us send it some new rear end housing and put it underneath it, and put a cam in the old motor that was sitting in the corner and stuck it in it and brought it over here tonight, and it seemed to work pretty good.
All I can say is that's quite a story to go out there and run the way you did, because really you did, I don't know if I want to call it a dominating performance, but I mean, you know, nobody was close to you.
Yeah, and the bad thing about it was we went out and run the heat and it didn't run right, and I come back in and Jeff Proffitt's running the sport mod this year, and I borrowed his carburetor and put on it after the heat race, so it was an eventful night, but everything worked out great for us.
Yeah.
So.
Well, like so many other drivers tonight, just kind of feeling things out and getting stuff going for the year here for the first night at I-35. But folks, once again, your winner here for the IMCA stock cars, Brad Whitney. Brad, good run.
Thank you.
Lights out, green flag racing this time out of turn 4. Green flag high in the air. Mike Ryan, Buzz Caster side by side into turn 1 for that lead. Caster a little bit high, opens the door for Gene Claxton. Claxton sneaks by for second. Mike Taylor Jr. trying to get by for third. Mike Jones side by side with Travis Walker. Jeff Smith, Jason Anderson trying to find a hole to get around. Working on the 42. Gene Claxton now takes the lead. Mike Ryan back to second. Buzz Caster third. Mike Taylor Jr. fourth in a challenge now with Travis Walker. Oh, Gene Claxton tire down on the 42 car. He's going to come to a rest out of turn 4. Now it looks like he's going to pull the infield to right front down on the 42 car. Buzz Caster now your leader. Mike Ryan back to second. A battle for third between Mike Taylor Jr. and Travis Walker in the 71. Add the Cowboy Jeff Smith to the fray. He's running in 5th. Mike Jones 6th. Jason Anderson 7th. Buzz Caster in that 54 car starting to pull away from Mike Ryan. Caster last season picked up a win in the modifieds in Larry Caster celebration, the celebration of his father. Let's see if he can pick up an opening night win here in the Grand National Division. Buzz Caster out of turn 4 leads him here at I-35 Speedway in the Border War Grand National Division. In that Coca-Cola Johnson Ridge subdivision machine. Mike Ryan running second. Mike Taylor Jr. now all alone in third. Jeff Smith going to battle Travis Walker. They get hooked. Oh, Mike Jones nowhere to go. Piles in there. 3-car ruckus over there in turn number 3. Buzz Caster not wanting to see that caution as he had a straightaway lead over Mike Ryan. A lot of drivers showing some big improvements over the winter. Lynn Starry had a good run. Cam Atkinson had a good run. I know that's one guy that couldn't wait for the winter to get over. Talk about it on Facebook all the time. Also, you can visit I-35 Speedway on Facebook and Twitter. Green flag comes back out. Lynn Starry in that 54 car. Your leader followed by the 51M of Mike Ryan. Ryan trying to latch onto the back bumper. Caster starts to pull away again. That car that he's driving is a former track champion car from Lakeside Speedway from last season. Caster steps behind the wheel and it might find itself in victory lane tonight. Mike Taylor Jr. starting to lose ground to Mike Ryan, but he's also starting to pull away from Travis Walker. Walker right there with Jeff Smith in the 29S car. Buzz Caster, Mike Ryan pulls away from the rest of the field.
You got 2 bedroom garage.
Buzz Caster in that 54 car, your leader, followed by the 51M of Mike Ryan. Mike Taylor Jr. starting to get a challenge now from Travis Walker. Walker going to look to the inside, trying to get the lead, or trying to get third spot away from Mike Taylor Jr. Now he's fallen into a challenge with Jeff Smith. Now back to the inside. Down the back straightaway, Mike Taylor Jr. pulls away a little bit. Buzz Caster on a tear tonight, pulling away from Mike Ryan. Travis Walker on the inside of Mike Taylor Jr. for that third spot. Jeff Smith in that 29S car right there in case anybody makes a mistake. He's ready to capitalize. I'll tell you what, race fans, this track is in great shape tonight. These guys are flying around this track. Buzz Caster in that 54 car, your leader, followed by Mike Ryan. Travis Walker again to the inside of Mike Taylor Jr., looking to take that third spot away. Oh, Mike Taylor Jr., all of a sudden that car just snapped to the left. Travis Walker was right there. Don't look like it hurt Walker at all. White flag out this time for the 54 of Buzz Caster. Through turns 3 and 4, checkered flag out for the 54 of Buzz Caster. Second spot going to go to the 51M of Mike Ryan. Third's going to go to the 71 of Travis Walker. Fourth to the 29S of Jeff Smith. And fifth to the 11T of Mike Taylor Jr.
Here with the winner tonight of the Grand Nationals here at I-35 Speedway, Buzz Caster. Buzz, really great run out there. Just probably like a lot of other guys, just feeling the car out.
Yeah, we're running the Grand National for the Johnson family up here, and I still pinching myself. I can't believe we won. First time in the car, and it's awesome. Really fun. This is a really fun class.
You know, I'm beginning to think of a name here for this team up here with you and Claxton on this team, kind of like an oldies but goodies, we'll call this race team, because both of you guys have been racing for quite a while here around the Kansas City area, but very successful drivers.
Right, yeah, and it's kind of funny. You got Gene and me and Cowboy, and then you got Deanie Ray, multiple point champion. Also, unfortunately his car broke tonight, but I think the fans are going to see some good racing with the Grand Nationals up here.
Yeah, it's a good track for Grand Nationals. I think really about the right size. I think I may enjoy watching them here more than I do at Lakeside, because it's just a little bit tighter racing for the kind of a late model style car.
Yes, it is. And with the two-barrel motors, it just seems like the racing is real tight, and it's just real good up here. We're having fun so far.
I was going to say that might be the other name of this team, is Just for Fun.
Yeah, that's what this deal's supposed to be with the Johnsons. I told, because I've got a modified. We're a couple of weeks away from having it done. We're going to bring it up here also. So we're doing this. I so far just for fun. Now we got lucky and won the first one. So now me and Ellen, we're already talking what we're going to change, what we're going to, So it's going to be fun.
Yeah. Once again, folks, your winner here at I-35 for the Grand Nationals, Buzz Caster. Way to go, Buzz.
Okay, thank you very much.
Green flag comes back out. Jordan Grabowski in that 30 car. He's going to take the lead away from Todd Wilson. Wilson on that last restart had the lead. Steve Glenn in that third spot in the 26S. Here comes the 69N of Corey Ray. Flying around that outside in that Belleville car. 12M and John McAfee in the pit area. IMCA modified racing here at I-35 Speedway opening night. 30 Jordan Grabowski starting to pull away from Todd Wilson. Wilson trying to hold off Corey Ray. Stephen Glenn back to fourth. Bud Wilson fifth. Here comes Dave Bozak on the outside of Paul Snyder. Corey Ray in that 69N looked like he might have had a problem. 3 wide into turn number 2. Corey Ray's breaking something on that 69N. Looks like he's going to head to the pit area. Corey Ray sparks out of the back of that car, heads to the pit area. That means Jordan Grabowski's your leader. Todd Wilson running second. Stephen Glenn way up the racetrack. Opens the door for Bud Wilson. Rick Spriggs from the back up to fourth. Stephen Glenn going to try to battle back on the outside. Trying to get fourth back from Rick Spriggs. Spriggs trying to hold off Jeremiah Asher.
Huey, get him inside the light pole. I don't know who he is.
22D.
22D, get inside the light
Daniel Hilsebeck in the 22D car into the infield. The 11S starting to lose the left side of his car. Todd Wilson trying to catch up to Jordan Grabowski. Grabowski in that 30 car. Multiple time feature winner in the IMCA Modifieds. Making the trip here to I-35 Speedway. Bud Wilson, that 26 car, sits in third. Stephen Glenn fourth. Rick Spriggs fifth. Jeremiah Asher sixth. Paul Snyder seventh. Yancey Shepard eighth. Dave Bozak 9th and John Cruz sits in 10th. 11th is Steve Starmer. Jordan Grabowski coming up on lap traffic in the form of Steve Starmer. Jeremiah Asher trying to catch up to the back bumper. Rick Spriggs. Right now, that seems to be the battle on the racetrack. Spriggs looked to the inside of Stephen Glenn. Halfway done here in the IMCA Modified Division. Grabowski in that 30 car still trying to put Steve Starmer a lap down. He's got about a straightaway lead on Todd Wilson. Wilson with about a straightaway lead on Bud Wilson. Wilson with about a half a straightaway lead over Steve Glenn. Jeremiah Asher going to try to get that fifth spot away from Rick Spriggs. Jordan Grabowski finally gets away. Steve Starmer. Oh, problems for the 30 of Jordan Grabowski leading the race. Pulls onto the infield. That gives the lead over to the 1W of Todd Wilson. Todd Wilson, your leader now. He's followed by Bud Wilson. Stephen Glenn now third. Rick Spriggs fourth. Jeremiah Asher fifth. Yancey Shepard up to sixth from the back. Jordan Grabowski had this feature well in hand off at turn 4 on lap 12. Pulls onto the infield. That hands the wheel over to multiple-time I-35 Speedway feature winner Todd Wilson. Has not won in a while. Looking to capture the opening night feature win here in the IMCA Modified Division. Stephen Glenn now up the second round. Bud Wilson. Looks like the handling on the 26 car has gone away. Jeremiah Asher trying to get around Rick Spriggs. Problems for the 54P of Paul Snyder. He got sideways out of turn 4. Paul Snyder in the 54 car going to head to the pit area. Todd Wilson coming up on lap traffic.
Got the leader coming through.
Oh, Dave Bozak gives John Cruz a little bit of a tap, trying to get around him. Todd Wilson trying to get around lap traffic. Getting the move over flag is the lap cars. Stephen Glenn doing all he can to try to catch up to Todd Wilson. If Todd can just hang right there, he'll have this feature well in hand. He don't want to get it up here and battle these lap cars. White flag out this time for the 1W at Todd Wilson. Yellow flag out for debris on the front straightaway. Stephen Glenn picked up 5 or 6 last season. Looking to start the year off like he ended it. Like he ended last year. As the points leader and as a winner. Green flag comes back out. Todd Wilson in that 1W trying to get away from Stephen Glenn. Glenn up to the high side, opens the door for Bud Wilson. Wilson now settles back into third. John Cruz going to get a challenge now from the 37 of Jeremiah Asher. White flag out this time for the 1W at Todd Wilson. Stephen Glenn right on his back bumper is going to drive it in high. Trying to work his way around Todd Wilson. 12C at John Cruz getting turned around. Coming to the checkered flag. Checkered flag out for the 1W at Todd Wilson. Second spot to the 26S of Stephen Glenn. Third's going to go to the 26 of Bud Wilson.
Here at I-35 tonight with Todd Wilson, the winner of the IMCA modified race. Todd, once things kind of got straightened out a little bit and with a little bit of help, man, you pulled this one down.
Yeah, I got lucky. They said I had a straightaway lead, and I wasn't lifting because when I seen the 30 car pull off, I thought, well, maybe I got a shot at this thing. And the track was pretty rough tonight, but the old car hung in, and I'd end up breaking a shock there at that last caution. But it didn't seem to need it.
I was going to say Glenn, and I can't remember his last name. I'm in a senior moment.
Yeah, Steve Glenn.
Stephen Glenn, man, he was closing up on you there, so there was going to be some racing there at the end.
That's what they said. I never seen a bumper, and then he's out in the infield saying he almost bicycled it once and just damn near went on his lid. So, but I think I had the line. I never seen a bumper, so I just run my line.
Yeah. Early in the year, still got a lot of racing season to go, so everybody's got a little bit more time to figure things out.
Oh yeah, first night everybody's kind of working the bugs out, getting all the bolts tight and everything else, and after the night we'll have to recheck them again because it was pretty rough. But
Okay, once again, your winner here from I-35 for the IMCA Modifieds, Todd Wilson. Todd, way to go.
Thank you very much.